So we just got some pretty big updates to the commander brackets and the game changers list, so let's talk about it. So first up, the brackets. It seems like we are switching to this Rachel Weeks bracket, which, it's a little bit more confusing to look at, but definitely gives some more information on each bracket. The major change I've been able to pick out is that they removed the tutor restriction. They basically said it makes your deck more consistent, but not necessarily stronger, because it's all about what you're tutoring for. And obviously, not all tutors are created equally. Yes, you have your demonic tutors, but you also have like a 4-mana tutor that can only tutor for a specific type of thing. Plus, all those tutors like demonic tutor that we should be scared about are already on the game changers list, so it doesn't really make sense to restrict against them twice. Personally, I get how it's really hard to include the tutor restriction, and few tutors was admittedly really vague. I don't think giving up on it is the totally right thing, but then again, I wouldn't be too mad if I was in a bracket 1 or 2 game and someone pulled out like just a not that crazy tutor. I'd be fine with it. Another thing to mention is that not all precons are going to be in bracket 2 like they originally said. They basically said something like a Modern Horizons precon or a Secret Lair precon is clearly much stronger than a starter commander precon. So those might fall more into bracket 3, even if they don't have game changers. They also talked about how so many decks fit the restrictions of bracket 2, but really play much stronger than that. But next up is a bunch of things that came off the game changer list. First up, they started with very expensive cards like Expropriate, Jin-Gitaxias Court Augur, Sway of the Stars, and Vorinclex Voice of Hunger. Personally, I do agree with this. Yes, all these cards have very, very strong effects, but they also are quite expensive mana-wise, and if you're putting that much mana into a spell, it should have a very strong effect. And yes, one of the big things that come up is, but you could cheat it out. But yeah, I could just as easily cheat out an Eldrazi, and that's doing just as much to help me close out this game. And you don't see any of those on the list, nor should they be. For Expropriate in particular, this also kind of falls under the no too many extra turns restriction that's already in the lower bracket, so it really doesn't need to be here. Next up, they took off some of the just good commanders like Kinnan, Yuriko, Winota, and Urza. Another one I agree with, because basically their reasoning was, well, you see the commanders before the game even starts, so you could just say, yeah, I don't want to play against these commanders. This is totally fair, because the reason they are here is because they are legendary. These cards can go in your 99 and be very strong. They are great cards, but they are not game-breaking cards in that sense. They are here because you could play them whenever you want and always have access to them. They did not take off or Turgid. I get this one because these are cards that you could put in the 99 and would be far more annoying to see come out than, say, Yuriko. Lastly, they took off Deflecting Swat, the reasoning being, yes, it's a free spell, that's good, but it's far more restrictive than, say, a Fierce Guardianship. Makes sense. And Food Chain, which I'm very excited about. I always thought this was weird that was on here because they already have the no 2-card combos rule, so why would they also put this on the list? Because you're only using it for a 2-card combo, right? Overall, I think these changes are good and the format panel knows what they're doing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to follow.